It is just an inconvenient fact that slavery is endorsed in the Bible. It's explicitly endorsed in the Old Testament, and it's certainly not repudiated in the New, right? And Jesus told slaves to serve their masters and to serve their Christian masters especially well. So there's no place in the Bible where you can get a truly compelling case against slavery, because the creator of the universe clearly expected slavery to be a human institution.
Well, except for abolitionists finding enough inspiration in the Bible to use it as their main text.
But they did that despite what's in the Bible.
Well, I think that is, I mean, I don't want to, this shouldn't sound insulting because it's not meant as an insult. I think that from a religious point of view, that's a simplistic reading of the Bible's role in human affairs, meaning that when any written document is given to any group of people, it has to be given to people in a way that they can understand. It's not that slavery was endorsed by the Bible. It's that slavery is universal among human civilization until modern times.
But it was, no. There are religions that have different points of view on all these questions, right? So it was possible in the 5th century BC to have a take on ethics with respect to something like slavery or the killing of combatants or non-combatants. That was quite a bit more modern and ethical and civilized than is found in the Bible. So I mean, you might not like some of their other commitments, but take something like Jainism, right? I mean, Jainism, Gandhi got his nonviolence from Jainism. I mean, Jainism is just, in truth, a religion of peace, unlike Islam, which is the word peace is a euphemism for the word surrender there, or submission. So it's possible for people 2,500 years ago to wake up one day and even write a book which suggests don't harm anyone or anything, even a cricket.
Right. Well, that's fine. But the question is, how many converts does Jainism have? Meaning that the point of, if you're going to give a book over, let's pretend that you thought that God existed and that you were He. And it was your job to convey to a group of human beings what you think morality should be, understanding that they're going to take that and develop that because we do have this gift of human reason that we use to develop things. And so there's a root text, and then it is developed over time. This is why I think Judaism is particularly kind of unique in this respect, because that's been an ongoing dialectic for literally thousands of years. I mean, there's legitimately thousands of pages of tractates of just people arguing about these particular issues. You would say that the argument should have started from the point of there was no text for them to argue about, and they should have just argued from sort of a priori reason, maybe.
No, I mean, I respect text, but I think the principle of revelation is a problem. But just to back up for a second, I think it's certainly problematic for you as a Jew to argue that the legitimacy or success of a religion is best measured by the number of adherents in the year 2018. Right?
No, but the point of...
Very true. We only have 14 million adherents, 0.2% of the world population. But the truth is, one of the proofs is, or the historical truth of the Torah, is the fact that the Jewish people are still here. Not only they're here, but are Am Yisrael Chai in a very real manner, making a great impact in the world. Sometimes a negative impact, but for the most part, a very positive impact. And that itself is an evidence of the eternity of the Jewish people and the Jewish message that is in the Torah.
Judaism also is that it says in the Bible itself that God is going to make, great peoples of all of Abraham's sons, for example. And as Maimonides put it in the Jewish belief, even the growth of Islam and Christianity, which are obviously based on a certain Judaic root. I think Islam less so, because there's an actual rewriting of the Old Testament, and the New Testament not as much. Maimonides suggested that Christianity had basically been brought about as an extension of Judaism, which is the greatest, Christianity is the greatest converting religion in the history of the world.
Right. So but it seems strange to count at the success in terms of numbers of Christianity and Islam, given that the
basic principle. The bottom line is the basic principles of Judaism. Those have been embraced in a way that the basic principles of Jainism have not across time, and they've shaped civilizations in a way that is significantly better than the principles of Jainism have shifted any number of small people, or a small group of people.
All right. What can I say? Both of them could use a real good dose of Torah learning from the original text, and with the oral tradition the arguments back and forth between the sages, and most importantly, that when you approach something, approach it without preconceived notions, objectively. And I suggest that there'll be a great turnaround and an appreciation for what I don't call the Bible, but the world calls the Bible, but for the Torah.